So let me preface this by saying that I'm the type of trader that looks at the market and lets it tell me what it's going to do. I do very rarely will I look at the news. If anything, most recently, if you just watched the Trader's MindChat show that I did with Rizwan Miman, about how he uses the news, right? Like, so he's not watching the news; he's using the news just to see how what the narrative is currently, and tries to trade based off of that. Like that's something new that I could incorporate. But for me, I'm looking at the major indexes. I'm looking at the monthly charts, weekly charts, daily charts. I'm looking at my stock scan, seeing what types of stocks are passing right now, and the scans are comprised of both fundamental and technical data. And then I'm looking at my watch list to see what kinds of stocks are setting up, and if they are setting up, then it's time for me to start participating. If they're not setting up, then it's time for me to back away. And from that perspective, what Trump does or doesn't do, or if he's elected or not, or if there's some kind of a coronavirus or not, isn't really a part of that system. Now, you might be thinking, well, how do you know what to do? Well, most recently, in the most recent downturn in the market, well what's today? Let me see. Today is the 28th, February 28th, that I'm recording this. So if you go back to last week ago, right? So the 21st, Friday, was able to send an alert out to my subscribers, to the people in the Trader's MindChat room, and tell them, hey, based on what I'm seeing in my positions and in the major indexes, doesn't feel right. I just got stopped out of several positions that I was locking in profits along the way. They started to move and close below different moving averages. They were starting to break support levels that they had fallen below. And it's like, you know what? I'm exited about 90% of my portfolio, and given what we've recently seen in the market, the clustering of the distribution days, and that there really wasn't any stocks that were setting up for bullish setups at that time, because bullish setups are what's going to drive a bull market, right? Like that's like fuel in the tank. It seemed like the market could be potentially rolling over. And so because of that, we're out and starting to short like right when the market is rolling over, right? Didn't have to wonder anything about a coronavirus. Don't have to worry about if Trump is reelected or if somebody else is elected. It's letting the market speak to you. So unless if you are controlling a lot of money, and by a lot, I'm talking tens or hundreds of millions of dollars, then you could look at the market and let the market tell you what it's going to do. And it's not just like some voodoo magic. What you're seeing in the price action is factual decisions of the collective. So that's what we want to be most interested in. Well, which way people are making their decisions, and trade with that, versus trying to see something on the news, see a lot of negative sentiment or positive or whatever, and then try to let that be our guiding decision. Now, if you're, for the professionals out there, right? Like, let's say you happen to be Riz, and you're able to gauge sentiment and see what the narrative is, and then trace off of that. Let's say that you're that kind of a trader, then fantastic, right? Like, because you're almost like a contrarian, right? Like, well, when things are super positive and euphoric, and it's like, you know what? I'm going to start to step away from the market, start to sell. Great. Well, when everybody's saying that we're going to hell in a handbasket, then hey, maybe it's time to start seeing what kinds of stocks are setting up, or what kinds of plays do I want to make, using the news instead of just simply reading the news or letting the news like inject emotion into your trading, that's how you want to use the news if you're going to use it at all. If your name happens to be Mike Lamothe, you're not using it at all and you're just trading based off of what you see in the charts.